Africans say when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. Reiterating this fact, the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide and other youth groups in the Niger Delta region have sounded a note of warning to Governor Fubara of Rivers State and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, not to plunge the states into crisis for selfish reasons. In a communique that the youth noted that the festering feud between the two leaders can lead to anarchy and negatively impact political and economic development in the states. Meanwhile, more elders in the region are intervening in the face of former President Goodluck Jonathan has warned that the worried gladiators to toe the path of peace as the face-off may destabilize the Niger Delta region. Let's hear from the former president.
Leaders must know that nobody takes 100%. You must learn the principle of give and take. So our own political actors must work together if you love the Rivers people. You must work together if you love the Rivers people. And I join the leaders of Rivers State and the well-meaning Nigerians that have been calling for truce. They have been calling for ceasefire to also re-emphasize that there is a need for ceasefire. Outgoing governors and incoming governors must know that they work together for the collective interests of the citizens of the state. And that is critical because you must work together. In this case of Rivers State, Honorable Minister Nyesom Wike and Governor Fubara must work together for developing the land and the people of Rivers State.
You're just looking at the countenance of Fubara. He's not smiling at all. That notion that, look, you must work together.
That's not what he wants to hear. In one of his statements last week, he said this there's no room for reconciliation in this matter. He said it clearly. I read it that this
fight to
has reached a point of no return. So when you talk in that manner, I don't think you are going to listen to anybody who says, let us make peace. Another thing, you know, as someone who has studied politicians for many years, when politicians find themselves, especially a governor, he finds himself in a situation in which the godfather does not have the capacity to breathe down his neck anymore, he will be very happy. That you see all kinds of conflicts brewing between godfather and godson, because the godson wants his freedom. He wants to be the only fish in the pond. His own man. He's not interested in someone dictating to him. What infuriates politicians the most is for him to know that he's governor, and people are going to someone else to seek for favors that a governor is in position to grant. You get the point I'm making? You want a contract, you go to a godfather. The godfather then calls the governor, give that person. They don't want that. The politician, most governors want to be in a situation whereby in their states, nobody is their godfather. It's not in every situation that you find yourself there. You become governor without a godfather. Yabelo became governor without a godfather in Kogi because he became governor by happenstance. Yes. You know? Nobody envisaged what happened, and he became governor. So he ran the state without a godfather telling him, do this, do that. Even some of the people helped him initially to introduce people to him that he put into his government. Within a short time, he cut those people off. So he now had full freedom. Fubara would not want to make peace with Wike. Because when you make peace, it comes with some conditions.
Negotiation.
Concede some ground. The way he is now, whatever he wants to do with his state IGR or with the FAC coming into the state, he can't do because there is no godfather. If he makes up with Wike, there are conditions that will come with it for the two of them to enjoy working together. He doesn't want that. He wants to continue to run the state the way he's running it now, with 3 persons.
As lawmakers.
3 persons as lawmakers. That he is the one who sees those 3 persons as just the lawmakers. INEC does not recognize that. INEC, the other day, admitted receiving correspondence from the other faction about the need to replace a lawmaker that died. If INEC recognizes 3 men, INEC would not have received that correspondence. So I'm just saying that, just as an aside. But I can tell you, is not going to, I'm not going to say it's impossible because I'm not God, but to reconcile these 2 men, especially now when someone has seen the joy of freedom, of taking decisions alone, of not having to call Wike that he wants to do this, they will try. They will try.
You know, Rivers has always been something that has bothered me in terms of the evolution of democracy in the Fourth Republic. And it's like the situation is just deteriorating, and that's why I found it a bit ironic that the former president was calling for truce, because...
Okay, just hold a bit. Let's take this breather. When we come back, we have to pay some bills. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still journalist, and guys, we'll be right back after this time out. Stay with us. Welcome back. Ima?
Yeah, so like I was saying before, the slot to pay the bills.
Very important.
I found it a bit ironic that the former president was trying to broker peace, because he has also contributed to muddying the waters during his own time, and one of the characters who is involved in this kind of thing was encouraged to behave that way previously.
Nyesom Wike?
Yes. Jonathan encouraged that kind of
Anarchy.
So it's that's why Rivers, for me, Rivers, all Nigerians have to be bothered about Rivers. If the amount of terrorism, political terrorism that is evolving in Rivers, the day it explodes in this country, it's going to have ramifications that will affect the rest of the country. And part of it, of course, is godfatherism, as you've rightly mentioned. When we play politics without principles, it's the godfather installs. The godfather wants to be there like an African chief until he dies. Even if he's not on the throne, he pulls the strings from behind the scene. He's the one who determines everything. That is why we have this type of situation. And you saw what happened that led to this governor emerging, and all the shenanigans that took place that led to the emergence of this governor. So you will not be surprised that this will happen, because obviously that guy must have been biding his time and playing the fool and pretending playing along. Yes, playing along, and then and knowing where the bodies are buried, so to say. He has a hold on the other person, and then he now can boldly take it. So something really needs to be done, because if Rivers finally explodes, it's going to be catastrophic for this country. And it's not just one party now. It's gone across all the parties. You know, before it would be, it's the problem of this party. Yes, it's the problem of PDP. It's the problem of whatever. Now it's two major political parties. Yes, it's yes, and so it's going to be catastrophic.
I have Ahmed calling us from Ibadan in Niger State. Thank you for joining us, Ahmed.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Good evening, Babajide and Ijaw and the other guests. I want to contribute to the issue in the first state. So I'm happy for the governor that this thing is not happened during the Obasanjo regime. Even if it is by there, definitely I know that within 30 days the governor will be impeached, even with one House of Assembly. But now, there is nobody, as Mr. Babajide used to say. Hello, are you with me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, there is nobody, as Mr. Babajide used to say, that will sponsor you, even that reform for you. I'm not a politician. That reform for you, sponsor you, spend this money, and to become the governor. At the end of the day, you go back to his enemy and listen to his enemy and abandon the person. No one in the world that you accept that. Let's face the reality. That is why I left Mr. Babajide. He used to tell the truth. Because these guys supposed to, I've already made my point. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ahmed. If you remember, this doesn't just start today. We've always been having it. We've always had it, this situation. That they were the Ladoja and
the maker of Chris Fubara,
former governor of Nasarawa State, the former chairman of APC.
Yes.
He also fought his godfather. His godfather was the former MD of PPMC. Very rich, very strong. He owned this Amana Suites, one of the earliest hospitality this thing in Abuja. He was the one, he was his godfather. I remember back then, in the year 2000, the fight had begun. Very well. You may see him as an old man, former APC, middle past APC national chairman. But he had a godfather that I quarreled with. And I know that traditional rulers came together and were begging. So his godfather eventually decided to try to enter the race so that he would stop Abdullahi from getting a second term. But he died along the line. But he was so strong, was so formidable politically in Nasarawa State because he had the money. You know, somebody, PPMC, remember PPMC, that under NNPC. If you had during the Abacha years, it's not small money. So it's right in saying that you do not help a person to attain office and then you'll be happy to see him work for your enemy. But as we have said, it's not the first time in our country. And as I've said to Nyesom Wike, look, this thing happened to people before you. Danjuma Goje, two governors, he produced two governors on the bounce. Those two governors turned against him. Dan Kwambo and the man who is dead now. The man who is governor today, the man who is governor today was a commissioner under Danjuma Goje. Bukola Saraki turned against his dad at a time when he was even going to leave office. He went against the choice of his dad. He caused power shift. He caused power shift to go to Kwara South, and that produced Fatai against the choice that his father made.
The sister.
People will even say that he retired his dad politically. That's an example. And I remember Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu saying something in those early days when he was governor, that you will never know what power can do until you try your own son with power.
Stephen is calling us from Abuja. Thank you for staying with us, Stephen.
All right. Good evening to Babajide and the other guests and Ozubakun.
Good evening.
All right, well done. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, just a minute, please. Let me touch on the previous topic, and then I'll summarize on the next one.
Quickly.
Now, the security issues on banditry, I want to profile solution and not complain anymore. Can we please harness all the intelligent hands, those that have studied in the institute constitution about intelligence, gathering information, and the government bringing people to a round table. Because intelligence is lacking, that is one. And then number two, can this country stop playing politics with the lives of innocent children? The ladies, according to Babajide, he said the most vulnerable are the women and the children. And you know that's the soft target. Now, imagine people going to the hills, picking up people, and nobody even makes an attempt to stop them. I don't know people in that community. Let politics stop and let this thing be handled once and for all. If the country needs to come to a standstill to hold the whole 36 states, let them do it, because the most painful part of it is this. When little civilian issue is going on, you see the battalions of army that is being sent to those places. But when people are being kidnapped, just a minute few military personnel, I mean, something is wrong.
Thank you, Steve.
Then, secondly, on the Wike and Fubara issue, please, there should be a new constitution that will...
You're talking about Godfather and Godson.
Yeah, so as long as we don't do politics with principles, you are in power and you want to determine who the successor is, your successor is, it's natural that your successor eventually also wants to establish his own parameters of influence.
But we see some model now, it has worked so far.
It's worked in some places.
In some places.
And look at Delta, for example. You may call Ibori names, but Ibori successfully instituted a political
family.
Yes, he set up a political family, yeah, and the kind of transition that ensures that there is no rancor. All the 3 senatorial zones in the state, including the least populated of them all, have produced governors. And once they say, okay, this is the person that we want, everyone queues behind that person. If not, would you expect, for example, that if it was simply to be thrown open, that a senatorial zone that has only 3 local government will produce a governor? That is, the Shekiri produced a governor in Delta State. Many people thought it could never happen, but it happened. And then it's now gone back to Central, North, Delta North.
And normal people.
They produced a governor. That is what I find that very, very good. I find that a kind of formula that can help to achieve peace.
Rotate peacefully.
Yes, and inclusion. But as we all know, this thing, Fubara, true, even if he gets the freedom, total freedom that he wants, and you too want to put someone there.
Naturally.
Those fighting for him today, because his face looks like that of a gentle innocent, they can see the way he's talking now that he's not as innocent as we portrayed him. He too want to put his own person there. But we must tell him today that when you want to put your person there after maybe 8 years, if the Rivers people allow him to do 8 years, that person may still go against you. I've seen it.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
So Mahmoud is calling us from Zamfara State. Thank you for joining us, Mahmoud.
Hello.
Yes, Iran, please.
On this issue of Wike and Fubara, I think as long as the father wants to stay relevant, definitely peace will never reign. Please, Wike needs to understand that he has done his part. Gentlemen, he was a governor of the state. Now, he has shifted from there. He should have allowed Fubara to exercise his rights during the tenure. So, one thing to stay relevant at all time and all costs, never allow peace to reign in that state as far as politics is concerned.
That's what I wanted to say easy.
Is it a crime to try to be relevant? Ultimately, even in Pakistan, it's not only in Nigeria that this godfather thing.
It's not about our interests,
It's about interests, politics without principles, and then at the end of the day, we don't have the best people running the state. So when you look at, he said Ibori has succeeded, but would you, in all honesty, say Delta State has gotten the best?
No, it doesn't matter. It's a different problem. Good governance
that Delta has, you know, and that is the real downside, because it's more of protecting personal interests cronyism than the development of the larger populace.
No, but the people respect them. No. Our politics is just like growing up in Ilorin. Whatever Olusola Saraki said was what the people did.
It's just like Lagos State.
He successfully changed the way an incumbent governor, just by announcing 2 days to the election that he just said it. When they were raising up, Adamu Atasne, my mom was watching on TV, was telling me, you will see what will happen on Saturday. Because they couldn't solve that, they couldn't resolve the differences. It's just like Wike and this.
It has always been like that.
They were quarreling. He brought Adamu Ata from Ghana, made him governor. Then he now felt that Adamu Ata was not showing respect. So he made up his mind that he would teach him a political lesson. And Saraki, as a politician, was so cagey, so sneaky, yes, and tactical. He went, had an alliance with some elements in the UPN that time. He backed Adebayo, Cornelius Adebayo, against the candidate of his own party. And where the UPN was so strong, where the MPN was so strong, he dominated elections there, except in Ibira land, where the Ibira people voted overwhelmingly for their son. But it was not enough to retain Adamu Ata in power. The people, when the politician, when the godfather shows strength, it is because the people permit him. He cannot win an election all by himself. In those days, you dare not even abuse him in public. They will come for you. Buhari did not win election all by himself. People loved him. People wanted him to be there. And Buhari also ensured that he installed people as governors. Masari was one person that Buhari insisted. The first time he tried it didn't work. The second time he insisted, Masari became governor. So this is our nature. Once you become so powerful, you can see that the people love you. You begin to expand your frontiers, your political frontiers, and it will be difficult to brush you aside. People saying that, as long as people seek relevance, everyone seeks relevance. There's no politician who will deliberately not want to be relevant. I've not seen that kind of politician, except if he's pretending.